Hey guys, I'm Levi Perez. This is episode 16 of Ride Along. I'm here with Manteca High multi-sport athlete Gigi Torres. So Gigi, tell us about yourself.
Hey guys, so I'm Gigi Torres. I am a freshman here at Manteca High. I play multiple sports. I'm currently playing flag football, but I can also play softball and soccer. And currently I am playing on the varsity team as a freshman.
So tell us about how this flag season has gone so far, with this being the inaugural season.
This being the first season, it has been pretty good so far. I'd say we are 7-8 currently in our record. And for us being a newly made team, I'd say we're looking pretty good, and we've been able to compete and hold our own.
So tell us about how the season has gone from dead period, tryouts, all of that, with this being the first video with the real getting to hear about how the flag football season has gone along.
So for this starting dead period, it's definitely been new for a lot of girls, and it's been a good change, I'd say. It's a fun new sport that is getting girls involved now, and it's created quite excitement here at Manteca High.
How were the coaches during the process of it, with this being new to everybody?
The coaches were they're very supportive of girls who are definitely new to playing sports in general. They were very supportive of everybody and the opportunities given to one another.
So how many games have you played so far this season, or have you gotten to be a part of this season?
I've been able to play, I'd say, about 3 or 4 games before I got injured, and now the team is continuing to play, but I support on the sidelines.
So how you got injured, take us through the injury and what went down.
It was during the summer season of us training. I was practicing a lot consistently, and I had overdone it in my back, and it strained itself, and so now I currently cannot play any of the sports that I've been so involved in.
So when you suffered that injury, what was your initial reaction of the feeling of it?
Honestly, I had thought it was just a soreness that I was experiencing, and I thought I was going to be able to play the week after if I had just rested, and the pain had never gone away. So it's been about a month, and I'm now still dealing with the same pain I had been dealing with since I had first gotten it, and it's kept me out for quite a while on every single sport I've played.
So is there a timetable as of right now of when you'll be able to compete again?
As of right now, there really isn't much of a table to tell me where I will be playing, or even if I'll be able to, because they aren't sure quite yet with what it is going on in my back. They just know that there is something serious that needs to be seen, and depending on how serious it is, it will either be a long rest time or
So before your injury had occurred and you were sidelined, how were you performing in those games before you got hurt?
Before I got hurt, I'd honestly say I was performing at my best before everything had happened. I was receiving a starting position, and I was able to perform and to prove why I felt as though I deserved to be there, even though I was one of the youngest.
So in those games, how did you perform, as there were a lot of eyes on you being the freshman, and some of the seniors may have wanted that starting role? How did you perform in those games?
It was definitely a lot of pressure, but I had trained consistently in order to try and prove why I had felt I deserved the position, and I hope my trainings were enough to prove to those who were watching me that I was performing good enough.
So how you said that you had been a part of sports for majority of your life, how was it growing up, and how were sports for you growing up as a young kid?
Growing up, I've always been involved around sports. That's how I had grown up. When I was able to practically walk, I was already out on a baseball field playing with my siblings, my cousins, who my whole family has been very involved in sports our whole lives.
So with this being the first season of flag football, as normal football has been around, or men's football has been around for a very long time, how was it growing up as being a female athlete, and what did you feel you had to prove for yourself as you want to make as big an impact for your team, and you're also in the same area now as men's sports are?
It was definitely different compared to what I feel as if boys have to go through. Being a girl, I definitely had to prove more myself to them because I had felt or had been told that with me being a girl, I couldn't perform as good as the guys. Being a female athlete, it's been very different, I'd say, especially growing up playing sports. I was always told that with me being a girl, I wasn't going to be as good as the guys, and guys would compare a lot to how I played compared to them, and they would try to shun how I played, but that never really stopped me from playing and performing my own game. And that's what I feel like pushed me to play and practice more than I should, because I wanted to prove to those who didn't believe I could do it that I'm capable of doing it.
So when you were growing up and those people were overshadowing you and trying to shrug you off and all that, tell us a story of one of those instances. So you're on the boys' baseball team.
Yeah. So a story from me being younger, dealing with boys and people just trying to shun how I performed would be as young as being on T-ball. I was on a baseball team playing with a bunch of guys, and obviously me being a girl, I was never expected to play good. So when I had played on those teams, I'd say I played to the guys' level, and I was able to hold my own even when they didn't believe I could.
And what were the reactions that people were giving you, as there isn't too many moments where you'll see a girl play on the same team as boys? What were the reactions that you were given?
A lot of people were honestly surprised, and I'd also been questioned why I was playing with them, and that really never stopped me from competing with them. It allowed me to play harder as I was competing at their level.
So growing up and going through all of these sports, who has been the role model for you that you looked up to and you kind of trusted in your journey?
One of the biggest role models I'd say that has been in my life has been my parents, but more specifically my dad, because he's had a pretty not rough background, but he didn't come from much, and to say where he is now, he's improved and he's shown to me that he can accomplish anything, and I can accomplish anything that I set my mind to, because if he could do it, I know I can. And I don't say it a lot, but he has been one of my biggest supporters and motivators throughout my life.
So take us a little deeper throughout your family and how your family was for you growing up.
My mom was from a pretty well-off family, I'd say. She was not very involved in sports, but her brothers had been. So my grandparents and them, they're very involved in baseball and a lot of those types of sports. While my dad, growing up, he was given the opportunities to play sports, but he wasn't from a well-off family, so he wasn't able to pursue in them. And that is why I think I'm able to get this opportunity to pursue in these sports that he wasn't able to, because it's him now being able to provide for me and giving me the opportunities that he wasn't able to have.
So what about the sibling side of things, them being more around your age? How were they for you growing up?
My siblings definitely made it a competition. Me and them, we always compete with one another when it comes to sports, especially in like football now, because they are younger than me, but that doesn't stop them from trying to compete with their older sister. And my youngest sister, she looks up to me, I feel like, and I enjoy having them around because it allows me to have somebody to practice with, and it allows me to push them to be better for themselves as well.
So being the oldest sibling, being the older sister, how do you try to set an example for them to see and for them to follow?
I try setting an example by completing all my work. I feel like in anything that I'm doing, I definitely don't try to slack, and I don't try to show that I'm slacking when it comes to stuff like that. And I try to be as independent as I can be when it comes to at home, and knowing that they also need help. When they need the help, I will provide them as much as I can with schoolwork or sports. I just want to be involved with them as well, so they know that if they need somebody, they have their older sister to come.
So how has the transition been to high school sports with this being your very first year?
The transition from high school sports to what I used to play, it's been pretty easy, I'd say. From starting the summer tryouts and workouts, it was a more calming thing to do than to just enter high school immediately with sports and an expectation of something. But it definitely it wasn't what I expected. I expected a different outcome than what I had imagined it to be, but it wasn't in a bad way. It had actually been better than what I expected it to be.
What was your initial expectation that you were expecting?
My initial expectation, I'd say honestly, I thought it was going to be a lot more challenging to talk to girls, to make friends, to even just cooperate with the team and the coaches. But as time went on, I got really close with a lot of the girls, a lot of the seniors, and it's been pretty fun. And the coaches as well. The coaches are very fun. They're very supportive.
So guys, we are now in the great town of Lathrop. We're in the dugout. Gigi, go ahead and tell us about the type of setting that we're in. And you have a softball career yourself, so tell us about your softball career.
So we are located here at a softball field nearby where I used to train. I've been playing softball since I was about 3 years old. I started at T-ball and then continued my journey as a softball player. And I'm currently playing on Club All-Star on a 16U travel team. And yeah, my goal is to make it on Manteca High varsity.
So what do you think is going to be the big differences from playing on the lower levels to now you're trying to show up your first year and have an immediate impact and be on the varsity level?
I'd say the transition from that, it's definitely a lot more time consuming. I have been training for as long as I can remember, which it's what I feel will take me to where I'd want to go when it comes to softball and my sports. But it definitely is going to take a lot of dedication and a lot of courage to be able to try and achieve that goal of mine to be making it on varsity. So from recent years, from what I've seen at Manteca High, I know that they are a very high caliber team, and they have a lot of talent on their team. And it's definitely a team that I want to try to be on. I will definitely work towards that, but right now the injury has been something that's been holding me back, and it sucks right now, honestly. But knowing that I can play, or I can work to play with girls as good as they are, I'm excited to try out as a freshman, hoping to make varsity.
So Gigi, we're at the point of the interview where we're almost finished. It took an hour to get to this location because you can't give directions. We're ending the interview here. Is there any people that you want to shout out? Any last things that you want to say? Go ahead.
I'd probably just want to shout out people from my school, my flag team in specific. They have been a lot of motivation, even through my injury. They've kept me in high spirits when I felt down. They've helped me, and they've allowed me to just feel myself in sports that I know I can't play at the moment. And my coaches as well, they keep me accountable for a lot of things, especially around school. They know how I am as a person, and they allow me to stay true to myself. And a major one is my parents and my family. They're very helpful when it comes to this journey of mine. They allow me to be able to pursue this, and they give me everything that I would need. So
guys, this has been episode 16 of Ride Along. This has been Manteca High multi-sport athlete Gigi Torres, and it has been episode 16, and we're out.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the mukbang. I'm here with Levi Perez, and we are going to be trying some bakery things from BB_Bakes 2008.
So BB Bakes is the sponsor of Ride Along. She was our very first sponsor. She does a lot of great work. She does bakery, she does catering, she does all of that sort of stuff. This is her deep dish chocolate cookie, which she delivers. You could come pick them up. I came and picked these up at 8 o'clock. She's very helpful with the time zones and all of that sort of stuff of when to pull up, when not to pull up. She helps out a lot. This is the Oreo brownie that she also made for us. She made a lot of good stuff. You could usually get these about $5, $4 a piece. She does wide varieties of things, of if you need catering done with your bakery stuff, if you need birthday cakes, if you need any extravagant stuff that you want baked, she can make it. So I'm going to let you do the honors. You already started eating it.
I already have it ready, so I'm going to try it.
So as you can see, based off Gigi's enthusiasm of the cookie, you guys can get this anywhere from BB Bakes. Her website will be posted up above, and go ahead and hit her up on Instagram, and I guarantee you will not be disappointed.